Hey everyone, it's Brandon.
And Tyler.
And we are here today to discuss our 4-month ownership of our Volkswagen ID.4.
We're going to talk about the pros, cons, any issues we've experienced, and then what we're looking forward to.
You ready to get started?
Let's go.
Let's go. Oh, wrong way. We gotta go this way.
Oh, this way.
Oh.
All right, so let's talk about our first pro in the Volkswagen ID.4, which is drivability. The car is very quiet, it's quick, and it's super comfortable. It's no sports car, but let's check out the comfort first.
So let's talk about comfortability. I'm 6'1", and there is a lot of space in this interior. The nice thing is that the seats are easy to adjust. You have two-way memory seats as well as massaging front driver and passenger seats. And it's just an incredibly well-built and quiet interior. So let's talk charging.
So let's talk about another pro in our Volkswagen ID.4, which is charging speeds. The Volkswagen ID.4 charges at a green level 6 in ChargeWay terms, or at 125 kilowatts. You can charge this at Electrify America, which is actually free for 3 whole years. You can get from 0 to 80% within 38 minutes, or if you click on the pop-up banner below, you can see how my road trip was in the Volkswagen ID.4, where I did 1,000 miles. And honestly, I was shocked. It only took me like 20 to 25 minutes to get from 20 to 80% for me to get to my next charger. So if you want to see that adventure, just click on that right there.
So now I don't like to complain, but on to the cons. Well, we'll start off with 2 things that we picked up on our 4 months of ownership. The first one is the sound system. Now, for the price of the ID.4, we definitely were hoping that it had a better sound system. To me, it's a little bit basic and it kind of lacks some things like good bass. And yes, some aftermarket systems would probably fix that, but that is one con. Another con is some of the software that is in the center infotainment screen. It lags a little bit, and sometimes things just don't work. Sometimes it says that like functions are not available and so forth. But we all know with software is that software updates can definitely fix all of those cons.
So let's talk about 2 things that are not necessarily cons, but just more so nitpicks or slight annoyances that I have with the Volkswagen ID.4 after 4 months of ownership. The first slight annoyance that I have, only at nighttime, is with the touch panel here underneath the infotainment to adjust your climate and volume knob, and also your heated seats. So at nighttime, you can't see anything. It's not backlit, unlike the touch capacitive buttons on the steering wheel. That's just something that at nighttime I would just like to have some backlighting to be able to adjust my temperature accordingly. Second nitpick, or slight annoyance for me really, is just the window switches. So Volkswagen only gives you 2 window switches, but a touch rear button in order to roll down the rear windows. Well, I just prefer to have all 4 buttons for 4 window switches, kind of like the Audi Q4 e-tron has. So those are my nitpicks.
So, do you want to hear an ID.4 joke?
Sure.
What do you call 2 Volkswagen ID.4s that get into a car crash?
You know, I don't know.
An identity crisis. You want to hear another Volkswagen ID.4 joke?
Sure.
What do you call an ID.4 that's been stolen?
I'm not sure.
Identity theft. So, anyways, after those jokes, let's get on to some of the other issues and some of the recalls we've had with our Volkswagen ID.4.
So our Volkswagen ID.4 has only had 2 recalls in our 4 months of ownership. The first one dealt with the rear seat locking retractors as well as the rear seat automatic locking retractors. But our dealership replaced those. Now we're good to go, and we can actually have our fur kids back in the back seat.
So now on to 2 issues that we've really experienced in 4 months of ownership with our ID.4. The first one is that in the first 2 weeks of ownership, we actually had a glitch in the software where it threw warning messages for electrical issues, for battery, as well as some of the traffic assist, and it just pretty much stopped working. And what's so crazy about that issue is that our dealership actually had to work with engineers in Germany to wipe all the software on our ID.4 and then re-download it. And it's been perfect ever since. We have not had those issues. And now the other issue that we had with quality control is actually only one. All the other quality has been fantastic with the ID.4 except for the rear taillight. And now what I want to display for you guys is that we're actually having some fitting issues, and whenever we hit large bumps here in Cleveland, which is pretty much everywhere, you hear a little bit of like a cracking sound. And as you can see, it moves a little bit. But other than that, the quality has been fantastic with our ID.4 in the first 5,300 miles we've driven it.
So that kind of wraps up our video, except for a few more things. So here are some things that we're kind of looking forward to in our Volkswagen ID.4. This is our first electric car that, besides our Bolt, that allows to have over-the-air software updates, which we're really excited about having. So some of the things that we're kind of looking forward to is we do a lot of camping in this car. So it would be nice to have a camp mode or even a dog boat. We have our dogs sometimes too. So it's nice to kind of like keep them in the car and keep it conditioned as long as we want to. Second, we would love to have one pedal driving. We're so used to it in our Chevy Bolt and electric cars that we've driven that we'd love to see one pedal driving in the car. And then thirdly, I would love to see if Volkswagen could make a performance upgrade out of this car. They have the software to do it. I think they have the capability to do it in rear-wheel drive form, just like our car. So we're excited to see what the future holds for OTAs for a Volkswagen ID.4.
So anyways, everybody, that's going to be it for today's video on our 4-month ownership of our Volkswagen ID.4. We're super excited to be producing more content together. Tyler's going to be joining more as a co-host for Everyday EV. So if you're excited about that, make sure you like and share this video with your friends. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to Everyday EV. We're super excited to be producing more content for everybody. Well, as always, make sure you're staying safe, taking care, and make every day electrifying. I'll see you in the next one. Or we'll see you in the next one.